if you're a waiter, a bartender, a bellman, somebody in the service industry who gets tips for the work you do, your federal income and payroll tax would conceivably no longer exist. Although looking at the two proposals that were put out this week by House and Senate Republicans, there's actually a little difference. That's the kind of money overall that funds Social Security, Medicare, and other social safety net programs, so they'd take a hit. It's believed if it were to be enacted the way Trump is proposing it, it'd be about a $250 billion hit to federal revenue over the next decade. So the Culinary Workers Union, for example, that organizes a lot of them, says this Trump idea is unrealistic, that they think that their members are smart enough to know the difference between, as they said, real solutions and wild campaign promises from a convicted felon. The Biden campaign kind of scoffs at this idea as well. But it is potentially good politics to at least demonstrate this. Democrats would also turn around and say, you could have done this during the 4 years you were president. You could have joined us in asking that the minimum wage for tipped workers get increased, which actually would do more over time. Instead, you're having House and Senate Republicans propose pretty thin ideas here. 3 pages from Ted Cruz, 6 pages from Thomas Massie and Matt Gaetz. This is actually a great policy debate to see them having because it speaks to a real dollars and cents concern and an idea that's designed to help save, especially working class people, money. It's a Republican idea that's been out there for several years. The idea that if you are someone who makes a low minimum wage of like $2 and change an hour, but live otherwise on the tips you get from people, which can number far more than that per hour, you shouldn't have to pay taxes on that cash tip, maybe even the credit card tips. It's been floated for years by various Republicans. In early June, when he was campaigning in Las Vegas, in Nevada, a state with the highest number of tipped hourly service workers, he said we should stop taxing people's tips. And a lot of people thought, well, that's crazy. How would you exactly make that happen? Democrats criticized him for it. The Culinary Workers Union, massive popular labor union in that state that can mobilize tens of thousands of voters, also rejected the idea, saying it's not sensical and it would have to be part of other solutions. Well, what did Kamala Harris do Saturday night in Las Vegas but say, I support ending taxes on tips, as well as raising the minimum wage? We were out there, for example, in late June, discussing this with waiters and bartenders who said, yeah, on paper, that's a great idea. It would save me. One woman told me that at the height of her bartending career, she was making about $100,000 a year in tips on top of a base salary. To not have to pay taxes on that would save her conceivably $30,000 a year, which she said would be a down payment on a house. Might be able to pay a car payment or pay off student loans for her daughter. So, there's real potential savings there.